In October 2015, the modern container ship Asterix arrived at Davie, Canada's largest and highest capacity shipbuilder. Work immediately began on board to strip the ship down, almost to its bare hull, leaving only the main engine in place. Then, in early 2016, work began on board the ship to entirely rebuild it from inside out into the next mothership for the Royal Canadian Navy, a complex multifunctional ship which will carry over 15,000 tons of marine and aviation fuel, fresh water, supplies, equipment, and ammunition for at-sea replenishment, a ship which will carry the largest of the Canadian Air Force's helicopters, and a ship which will provide the Canadian Navy with its greatest humanitarian assistance and disaster relief capability, with extensive hospital and accommodation facilities. It's been just over a year since work commenced to construct the first Resolve-class AOR, and the team at Canada's largest shipyard have braved extreme weather, overcome major engineering challenges, helped over 900 Canadian suppliers develop and sell their products and services, and stepped up its fabrication facilities to meet the needs of the Royal Canadian Navy in a concentrated effort to deliver a class-leading ship in the kind of expedited manner not seen at a Canadian shipyard since the Second World War. This is Project Resolve. It's March 2017, and with the winter now coming to an end, the clock is ticking to finish the 6,000 tons of steelwork performed at the shipyard before the accommodation module arrives at Davie in May. But there is a problem. Quebec has been hit by its worst winter storm in 20 years. The storm has caused flash flooding, paralyzing the province, closing airports and highways, and causing the river to swell to some of its highest levels ever seen. In Quebec City, the storm has broken the banks of the St. Lawrence River. At the shipyard, the water has overflowed into the dry docks, causing hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage. In true Davie spirit, once the storm was over, it's back to business as usual. One area of particular pride is Davie's pipe fabrication facility, which is operating at unprecedented levels of productivity to get all the pipe spools built and installed on board. The Resolve-class AOR will be able to replenish the Navy with a number of different liquids, including ship fuel, aviation fuel, and fresh water. And that means a lot of pipes. As with nearly everything at Davie, significant systems upgrades and technological advances have been made over the past 6 years, since the shipyard was reopened and restarted by Inertia, a major international shipbuilding and marine industrial group.
So Davie's Pipe Shop is one of our rounding examples of the success that we've had. What we've done in the pipe shop in the last kind of 3 to 6 months is that we've been able to look at the whole process of how we produce pipe. So how do we plan it, how do we get the materials in, and how is the work actually done in the yard? And the team in the shop took the initiative to make these improvements. What they've been able to achieve by changing everything, better planning, better materials management, and having a more organized workforce, they've been able to achieve about 3 times the output with only twice the labor. So it's about a 50% increase in actual productivity of the workforce through that shop. And what that's allowing us to do is get volumes of piping spools out that we've never before achieved in this yard.
By far the largest scope of work for the entire project was the fabrication of the new fuel and cargo tanks, as well as the installation of a new power plant, which is not only used for providing power to the ship and its new systems on board, it can also be used to provide power to towns and communities in the event of a disaster. And with a multitude of electrical systems being installed, as well as over 2,500 meters of cable each day, the teams are relying heavily on Davie's new proprietary information systems. With all of the cargo, pumping, and power installations now complete, work is underway to complete what is known as the tween deck, which is a deck that sits in between the main weather deck, where the main replenishment operations take place, and the ship's tanks. It acts as the main artery for goods and people through the ship. The tween deck goes all the way from the cargo storage areas at the forward section of the ship to the helicopter hangars at the aft end. That allows stores, cargo, and ammunition to be moved under deck for vertical replenishment operations using a helicopter. The tween deck can also be used to store cars, ambulances, and other vehicles during humanitarian operations. The humanitarian dormitories and hospital are also located on the large tween deck. That means large numbers of passengers who are joining the ship in the event of a humanitarian crisis can be processed and housed without the need for them to enter the ship's main accommodation and operation areas. It's the beginning of April 2017, and a heavy lift cargo ship has arrived to deliver the 2 specialized cranes, which will be fitted on the Resolve-class AOR after the installation of the replenishment at sea masts. Both operations will take place during the summer. While the majority of the world's auxiliary oiler replenishment vessels have only 1 crane, the Resolve-class AOR is fitted with 2 for added capability. The same added capability applies to the replenishment at sea masts, with the Resolve-class AOR being fitted with 4 instead of the normal 2. Each crane can handle loads of 30 tons and can extend up to 30 meters in length to serve a wide variety of functions. While the majority of work is being conducted in the shipyard at Davie in Quebec, approximately 15% of the scope of work for the project is being performed by Davie's partners, Almaco, who are building and outfitting the ship's accommodation module in Finland. And as a world leader when it comes to building marine accommodation, there is not much that Almaco don't know. This method of building ship sections at multiple facilities is used throughout the world in most major shipbuilding projects in order to expedite the delivery of large shipbuilding programs. Building ships faster also means reducing costs and mitigates the massive inflationary effect that delays in shipbuilding projects have on the final budget, something Canada is suffering badly from on its other federal shipbuilding programs. While work on the ship continues at Davie, Spencer Fraser, the CEO of Federal Fleet Services, is inspecting the accommodation module with Davie's accommodation partner, Almaco.
So we're doing a technology transfer. We've got a whole team over from Canada learning the latest techniques and applying all those lessons learned so that future projects being done in Lévis will also have that latest technology. So we're about a week away from the unit being moved onto a barge to be brought over to Lévis, where it's going to be married up with the hull of the Asterix in early May. This steel is, in fact, this is some of the steel that's going to be used to fasten the accommodation module on the ocean barge that's arriving here next week. So here it is. There's the, you can see we've got the bridge, the port and starboard observation decks for the RAS operations, and we're now going to head into the accommodation module and show the latest innovations that we've been able to put into this to bring the best of breed, best capability of the Royal Canadian Navy for this contract. So here we are in the port hangar of motor vessel Asterix in the accommodation module. We have 2 large hangars on board the ship. The hangar can actually fit a Chinook helicopter, but it's going to be structured to fit the Cyclone helicopter. Just to my right here, we've got the cargo elevator that will go right down into the depths of the ship, which will permit us to bring pallets of food, ammunition, you name it, up to the flight deck so that we can do vert reps to other ships. And some of the last, you can see here, some of the last cabling going in for emergency lighting and verification of the various systems for firefighting and the like. This is a similarly very large space, and this is for the avionics workshop. And then next to us as well, further forward, we have another work compartment for the Cyclone helicopters. So as you can see, the ship has got ample storage capability, ample workspace. We've got compressed air provided to all the spaces, 440, so we're good to go to be fitted out to support the RCAF. Here we're into, this is one of the RAS observation rooms. So effectively here, safety number will be assigned during replenishment at sea operations to oversee, you've got a bird's eye view here, to oversee all the replenishment at sea effort that's underway and keep people safe and secure. So I've just shown all the workspaces for the helicopter air detachment. Now I'm going to show the pilot ready room, briefing room, and offices. So in here we've got the, this is the briefing room for the air crew. They've got some workstations. We've got briefing boards. We'll be installing the chairs for the pilots and air navigators and the ASOPs. So quite a large space, fully functional for air detachment of the size that we envisage on board motor vessel Asterix. And here is an example of a cabin. Each exterior cabin has a porthole for to get some sea out onto the ocean. We've got lockers, a bed, a work surface. One of the other innovations, every cabin has got LAN connectivity. We've got a television in each cabin for entertainment, multiple power jacks, you name it. And then every cabin has a shower and wash place as well as a toilet. So again, this will be the first time in the Royal Canadian Navy history for personnel to have either an individual cabin or shared cabin where they have their own wash place and shower. Now we're into one of the lounges on board the ship. We're still fitting some of the chairs, but we have what's novel here is that on every lounge we've kept them to the exterior of the vessel so that you can get natural sunlight in and you don't feel that you're entombed inside a ship when at sea. So we have a small bar in all of the different lounges. They come fitted with a microwave oven, a coffee maker, ice maker. There's an ample fridge space and a cappuccino maker for that. Then here we've got a TV station, a lounge area. And then on this side, we have an internet cafe, so people can bring their computers down, hook up here. There will be Wi-Fi on board, so people visiting the ship will also be able to connect to the Wi-Fi. So we're now on the fourth deck. All the outboard cabins have portholes looking out into onto the ocean. We've got the inner cabins have, just show you here. So these are typically a one-man cabin, but in cases where we have to have more people at sea for a real-world operation, there's also going to be a Pullman bed. And remembering that every cabin has got its own individual wash place and shower unit. Two of the senior officer cabins. These will be for some of the senior personnel. They're slightly larger. Again, they've got a porthole, a shower unit. And just to show you the shower units, we've got, they're all complete. So you've got a shower, a head, and a wash place with an area you can put your personal objects. So again, on the foredeck, just as on every other deck, this is the forward elevator. That elevator is only used for personnel. The elevator that's further aft, which goes into the hangar, is for movement of cargo. And each deck has its own air zone. So as you can see here, a lot of space to get at the equipment and to do servicing and maintenance. We're now in the after part of the house. Here we've got the elevator, the after elevator, which is to be used for cargo.
It's now the end of April, and with the accommodation now complete, the 2,000-ton module is lifted and wheeled onto a barge and sea-fastened to the deck. The barge is then towed for 2 weeks across the Atlantic Ocean, from Turku in Finland to Davy Shipbuilding in Quebec City. On arrival in the St. Lawrence River, the accommodation module and barge is handed over to one of Davy's other partners, the industry-leading Canadian towage and marine operations experts, Groupe Océan. With Captain Berrigan at the helm, the first part of this complex operation is in safe hands. This is certainly not his first rodeo.
But I can tell you I've done all the sea trial on all the 80,000 tonner they built, the 40,000 tonner, the big ferry like the Smallwood, the Caribou, all the new frigate, all the destroyer of the Trump program, and various other ships. The weather conditions were not very good. We were expecting better condition, but the wind was quite strong from the easterly, heavy rain. The tide was a very big tide, something like 5.5 meter tide. So at one point we had some worries about going alongside, but with the two tugs there, and which guys who are quite experienced in maneuvering barge, although it was a much bigger barge with a lot of windage area, it went very well. We got the barge in the dry dock with no problem at all, and everything went very smooth.
With the barge and accommodation module now in the outer section of Davy's Champlain dry dock, it's over to the team from Mammoet, Canada, an Ontario-based company specialized in moving the heaviest of loads, to begin moving the accommodation module off the barge.
This is probably one of the most complex moves I've ever been a part of.
Probably just the amount of planning that really goes on behind the scenes. I mean, in the next 2 days, you'll see something that looks very simple for it to just pick up, move off, move back onto the vessel. But it took months and months of detailed planning to make that happen. The conversion is, showing what we can do when everybody works together, and all the pieces are coming together as we projected many months ago, right on time and right on schedule.
Big effort, but not that much. The yard was ready for that thing, and I think that's the way we have to produce a contract like that.
Well, yeah, that's very exciting. I think that everybody's really proud. Such an operation, as I said, just not something that you will see every day. Maybe not, you will not see it anymore in a lifetime. So yeah, I think that everybody's excited and really proud of what is being accomplished actually.
First, a bridge is connected between the barge and the edge of the dry dock. Then, once the safe fastenings are removed, self-propelled mobile transporters, or SPMTs, are placed under the accommodation module. The interconnected SPMTs used to lift the module have a combined total of 416 wheels. Once in place, the SPMTs lift the accommodation module and slowly move the unit onto land. Both the SPMTs with their self-leveling capabilities, as well as the ballasting system on the barge, are both adjusted throughout the operation to ensure that the module remains perfectly horizontal at all times during the move. But moving the module off the barge was just the easy part. The axles on the 416 wheels now revolve in order to move the module down the quayside, with just inches to spare between the quayside and one of Davy's massive fabrication workshops. It's now time to roll the module across the second bridge onto the Resolve class AOR. It's raining and the winds are very high. The tension is rising amongst the team, who know that any mistake could cost millions of dollars and put the schedule to complete the Navy's urgently needed supply ship in jeopardy. Despite a margin of error of less than 1 centimeter, the installation went to plan, and the team are breathing a sigh of relief. With the project to build the first Resolve-class naval support ship now standing ahead of schedule at more than 90% complete, the team at Davy and Federal Fleet Services are moving into the final phase before delivery. Since the business was acquired in 2012, this is the first project that Davy has undertaken from scratch and is testament to the significant advances the company has made in design, engineering, fabrication, and project management. Advances which earned Davy the prestigious title of North America's #1 shipyard by Lloyd's List.
Well, Resolve is the very first project that we've been able to take all of our new processes and procedures and implement on this program. So whether it be from procurement, through planning, through scheduling, through involvement of the supervisors into what the plan is, getting the buy-in from the beginning on what we're going to do, what we need to do, setting the budgets. That's really the first project that we've had to do from day one. And it's showing in the success where we are today with that project, that everything that we've done to date is being validated by this project alone.
The fact that we're going to be the first shipbuilder in Canada to deliver a vessel to the Navy since the beginning of the National Shipbuilding Procurement Strategy is just a tremendous feat. I think if you could look back to 2011 when it was real doom and gloom here at Davy, no one would have thought that would be the case. You know, not to be the first company to deliver a ship since the NSPS was started, and especially not the largest ship in the naval fleet. So to have done that is tremendous. I'm so proud of everyone here for that.
Join us next time on Canada's Next AOR.